Hello, everyone. I'm here, and it's better late than never, as they say. May the 4th be with you. And that's not a lisp. It's the 4th of May. Running late, 2022, and I'm here to do an April book haul review. So I've done videos of a lot of different books and that I've got coming in that I've got in the mail and such as that. But here's the honorable mentions. I think that's how I'll handle it. Some I got thrift store shopping. Some I've got used bookstore shopping. And some of these I've got on the eBay. I don't think I got anything from Amazon, any book-wise, this month, the month of April. But let's get started. The first book I'm going to show you, I picked up at a local thrift store in Central Florida, here where I live. And I don't actually remember the name of the store. It's right by the Winn-Dixie out in Ridge Manor. So look it up, if you will. It's a local church, charity, thrift store kind of a deal. Every once in a while, I'll stop in there when I happen to be in the neighborhood and got a few minutes to waste. Thrift store shopping, what do you think? And I picked up a book only because I kind of like the thing. It's called Impress Books. Ever hear of it? I never did. But I picked up a couple Raymond Chandler books at the same shop a while back. So obviously somebody in the Ridge Manor area is dumping some Impress books. And I picked this one up right here. The Doorbell Rang by Rex Stout. Any Rex Stout fans in the audience? If so, give me a ring. It comes with the Mystery Digest, The Doorbell Ring by Rex Stout, and it talks a little bit about the author himself. A neat little addition to the collection. And The Doorbell Rang is a Nero Wolfe book, of one of many in the series, Nero Wolfe. But anyway, yeah, they're kind of neat. They're not high dollar, high expensive books. Seems like they sell pretty decent on the eBay. I don't know what they originally went for, but some of these 25, 30 bucks have gone for, and so they look kind of neat. I set them on my shelf. They go in there. Glad to have it. I'll pick up some more if somebody decides to drop them off at the local thrift store. So that was my single solitary thrift store addition to my editions for the month of April 2022. Next up, I went to 2nd and Charles in Gainesville, Florida, and you can see I've done some cleaning. Hey, I'm here at the 2nd and Charles in Gainesville, Florida, and I've got some books. I'm going to try this out. I've never done it at one of these stores before, but I've got a box full of books. And I'm going to see what they give me for them. And of course, I'm going to walk the aisles and spend a couple hours here, see if there's something that I can't live without. So let's have at it. What you got for me? I've got a bunch of books, and no matter how many shelves you seem to add, you always end up with extra stuff. So doing a little bit of cleaning, pulling stuff out of closets, stuff out of drawers, stuff out of cabinets, things like that, making a little room, a little cleanup, I decided to try and see what 2nd and Charles gives for books instead of just giving them all away. I dropped them off down there, and to satiate your curiosity, I got about $36 in trade on the box of books that I brought in. Although it took them a few hours to count for it, I'd already picked up my purchases and left. And what did I purchase? Let's take a look and see. So first of all, I haven't read Thomas Harris's Red Dragon yet. I've seen a couple versions of the movie. FYI, in case you're curious, I love Manhunter. Although I know it's less like the book than Red Dragon. And I've actually got a reader copy because it's on the list of books what gots to be read. But this one just looked kind of neat. I don't know. It looked a lot better than the reader copy. I like the cover. It seems to date it for me. And I like dated stuff. I don't like dates, but I do like to go on dates. And I like stuff that's dated to eras that kind of are cool to me. So I got this copy. Either I set it on the shelf, I read it, I don't know. I bought it, whatever. It was cheap enough. Actually $3.50. Not bad, but I got it. whatever. Another book that I added that didn't cost a lot, this one cost me 95 cents, is Conan the Buccaneer. And it's an Ace Books. Is that Ace Books? Yes, Ace Science Fiction. And I decided I've gotten some of the Conan novelizations because I collect novelizations for movies that I love. And looking at this series of Conan books, they look so neat. And I decided I think I want to start putting this collection together of the Conan Ace books. This particular one is written by L. Sprague de Camp and Lynn Carter, based on the character by Robert E. Howard. So it's not a Robert E. Howard book. Anyway, there you go. The Conan the Buccaneer. The next one I added, again, just because it was a nice, nice condition book. And I don't know, it probably pisses a lot of people off, the cover from the miniseries movie. But The Stand, I picked it up on another impulse buy, $2.35. The spine doesn't appear to be broken. I added it to the collection. I don't know. Either it's a better condition reader should I ever decide to jump on back in. But I added that one there. I ran into this. This is a second, I guess it would be a second edition, a reprint. I think it was a 1991 reprint of William Gibson's Neuromancer, the hardcover edition, and it wasn't in plastic. I already covered it up. But it's a first print of what I guess would be the reprint of Neuromancer. Let's see here. So this one was originally published in 1984, and this one is the 10-year anniversary, the 1994, July 1994 first print copy. It was a dandy of a condition, hardcover version of William Gibson's Neuromancer, and I've got, you've already seen the videos, the Suntup editions, Neuromancer numbered edition that I got, and put this one on the shelves too. Can't pass up a good deal. And this one was pretty cheap. I want to say $8. It wasn't free, but it was pretty cheap for what it is. And a nice hardcover copy of a terrific book. And at 2nd and Charles, the last thing I picked up was a first print copy of Stephen King's Gerald's Game. And I know a lot of folks kind of pan this book as a Stephen King book. It's one of his lower rated books in many cases, but I just love the cover, man. Sometimes you can judge a book by looking at the cover. Anyway, I picked this one up. It is a first edition copy and just about perfect condition. So I got one. Gerald's Game, Stephen King in the mix. I think this one might have been, I don't remember now, I already took the sticker off. I think this one was 11 or 12 bucks. 2nd and Charles, like Stephen King hardcovers. But anyway, nice condition, so I added that one to the collection. Now, I told you I got some eBay books, and one of them I haven't even opened yet, so I'm going to unbox that mother too. I was going to save some of these others to unbox, but I got a little impatient, and I wanted to get it done. So, let's take a look. The very first one I'm going to show you on eBay. This one is Chad Lutzke and Tim Meyer, Wormwood, from Thunderstorm Books. This one came apparently in, let's pull it open and see. It's a signed and limited edition, although it's not individually numbered. This signed limited paperback edition of Wormwood by Chad Lutzke and Tim Meyer, presented by Thunderstorm Books, is exclusively limited to the Nightworms November 2020 subscription box. So there's our signature page. And it was cheap enough for my taste. I think it was 10 bucks on eBay. So I bought it and I brought it home to put it on my shelf. And that's that. Any Chad Lutzke fans out there, can you tell me a little bit of something about what I'm finna get into with Wormwood? I'd never heard of the book, but I stumbled across it and gonna give it a shot. All right, I'm a Lawrence Block fan. I don't know if you knew, but now you know. A big fan of Lawrence Block. I've got a bunch of Lawrence Block books in my collection, from Bernie Roddenberry to Evan Tanner to Matthew Scudder to C.J. Keller. Keller, yeah. The Hitman Keller. And I had never read any of the Evan Tanner books. Recently, I read The Thief Who Couldn't Sleep, and I really liked it. I want to say I prefer my favorite being probably a toss-up, but I want to say Burning Roddenbar is my favorite series of Lawrence Block. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Shades of the Thin Man movies and also the book. Shades of, not quite exactly the same, but very similar in style, fun, doesn't really take anything seriously. No matter how much jeopardy they get into, you know he's going to come out okay in the end. That's not a spoiler. Once there's 10 or 12 books in a series, you start figuring out he's going to come out okay in the end. Also, Matthew Scudder, an ex-cop. It's a much different type of a story. One is funny, fun, and the other one is hard-boiled and difficult and things like that. And then you got the Keller books, which is a hitman. And it's kind of in the middle, a little bit lighthearted, although serious subject matter. Never really takes things too seriously. And then you get The Thief Who Couldn't Sleep, Evan Tanner. And it's reading this first book, if you didn't tell me who the author was and I knew nothing about the character, I'd know it was Lawrence Block. It is very Lawrence Block-ish in the way he approaches every line of this book. And I liked it very much. I liked it a lot. I already had some of these books on my shelves, just haven't read the character yet. And I had a limited edition version of this one as well, come in a slipcase from Mysterious Press. And so I picked up this trade hardcover. But this one is signed by the author Lawrence Block. There you go. So it's signed by the author. And it is a first print, although there was a limited edition version. There's the print number line there. It is there was a limited edition. I haven't researched to see which one came first, but after reading it, I decided to get the trade hardcover and a signed copy. Signed is always better. How you like them apples? All right, the next one is a book I've been eyeballing for years and years and years. I just never found one at a price that I was willing to pay like this. I already had the first print softcover. I've also got the limited edition hardcover that came with Savage Season in a 2-book slipcase, all signed and numbered. I also had a PC signed copy of this book as well. Either PC signed. I have a signed copy of the hardcover of this book. And like I said, I had the soft cover, but I didn't have this one because everybody wanted $100 for this book. And I found this one on eBay, and it's imperfect. You can see some damage to the little slipcase there. But what it is it's the first print of Cold in July by Joe R. Lansdale. And this particular book was the Overlook Connection Bookstore took these, and they had a signature page inserted, and you can see this one's number 70 of 100 copies, signed by Joe Lansdale. And then they had a special slipcase made for it, and they sold it like that. There's also copies like this of I think 1 and 2 of the drive-in. There's copies of the drive-in like this too, and they're a lot more expensive also, and I just haven't come across one. So this one was cheap enough because the slipcase is damaged. The book is not perfect, and I jumped on it because of the price. Something I've been wanting, and I jumped on it because of the price, and now I got it. And that's just the way it goes. Buddy Rose. I told you a minute ago, I collect novelizations of movies that I really love. And there aren't many movies on God's green earth that I love more than Taxi Driver. I love the movie. De Niro, Scorsese. Couldn't be much better than that. I feel kind of weird saying it, but I associate it with Travis Bickle an awful lot. Not in the ways that makes it sound scary, psychopathic. I never had the ideas to go killing people or anything like that. But I associate it with Travis Bickle because there's been times in my life where I almost felt like no matter what I was doing or where I was an outsider. I don't seem to think of everything the way everybody else seems to think of things. I could be in a crowd and I kind of feel like I'm the only one who's not like everybody else. And it's like an outsider. Anyway, I associate with the character how you could be alone in a crowded room. And I think that spoke to me long time ago when I first saw this movie at a point in time in my life. And I've been wanting the novelization for a little while. So I found this one on eBay, and it is a first print, February 1976, Bantam Books. And I picked it up. The right price, met the book. So I'm glad to have this one added to my novelization collection. Speaking of novelizations, segue. I don't know how to spell the word segue, but here's a segue. This book came, and it's not what I thought it was going to be. I was going to get a softcover novelization of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Don't hate me, because I like the Star Wars movies, and this particular Star Wars movie didn't tick me off like it did a lot of fans. Anyway, I liked the movie. I wanted to get a novelization for it. I bought one very cheap. I want to say $4, $5, something like that. It came in the mail, and it's a hardcover. So I got a hardcover copy of Star Wars: The Last Jedi novelization by Jason Fry. Usually, you'd be excited to get a hardcover instead of a soft cover, and it is a first print. But the thing is, I've only got one Star Wars book that's a hardcover, and that one I bought because I wanted that particular book in a hardcover. Well, now I got another one. I don't have a collection of Star Wars hardcovers, but do I need to start one? Let me know. What do you think? I don't know. We're getting down to the end. I got two more that I want to show you. This one was exciting for me. I haven't read it, but I love Blake Crouch. I love Dark Matter. I love Recursion, which I just finished reading. And as soon, I can tell you this, no matter what the books what got to be read list has in order, I need to get another Blake Crouch right up there at the top. I just finished Recursion. I need to get started on another one because that fella knows how to write a book that I dig. Anyway, I haven't read Desert Places, a novel of terror, by the way. It ought to be terrifying if it's a novel of terror. But I picked this one up at again, a price that it was willing to pay for. I like Blake Crouch, and the collection is growing. And this one is signed in ballpoint pen on the title page there, and now I got another one added to the collection. It is also a first print. We've talked about first prints an awful lot. When you collect first editions, you tend to collect first edition first prints. Look it up if you want to know what that actually means. Now, the last one, which off the top of my head, I honestly can't even remember what it was. If I can find something to cut with, let's break out my Leatherman multi-tool cutting blade, and I might not need to do much cutting. It looks like a paper bag with a very lightweight box inside. So our seller hopefully has hooked me up with protection. The bag is not in any way damaged or busted up, so that's always a good sign. And it's Scotch-Brite 701. Who uses Scotch-Brite Professional 701? Can you tell me how this stuff works and what I would use it for? Hopefully there's a book inside of here. Scotch-Brite 701. Let's see what it is, see how it looks, and see if I can remember why I bought it, because I don't even remember what it is. All right, so this eBay seller knows how to take care of people. A little false alarm with the Scotch-Brite messaging. But I got a feeling, because now suddenly I remember what this book was, and I suddenly remember why I bought it. Let me get this bubble wrap taken off and see if what I got is any good. Have you ever heard of this guy in this book? Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men. It is a hardcover book. No remainder dots or anything like that. I don't know how many of these were remaindered. There's the page ends. Can you see that? What do they call that? People call that a deckled edge. But that's We'll call it that. USA, $24.95. And let's look here for, there's our page of page. It says first edition, and it doesn't refer to any prior printings or anything like that. Now, I'm not an expert on this particular book and how to determine how first printings are done or anything like that. But that's what I got, and I didn't pay a whole lot for it. Although I did see some of these books selling for a lot more money than what I paid for it. So Alfred A. Knopf, New York, 2005. Cormac McCarthy. What's your favorite Cormac McCarthy book? I've honestly, not proud to admit it, I haven't read any Cormac McCarthy books, but that's about to change. Some of them sound like books that I don't want to read. The way the people that love them describe them don't sound like anything I want to read. So the people that don't like them, they sure aren't going to convince me. But I really loved this Coen Brothers movie. I liked a lot of the characters in this movie, so I wanted to read this book, and that's what we got here. So Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men rounds out the April 2022 book haul video, and I hope it was worth your time. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for your time. I can't think of any more lies to tell. So with that being said, c'est la vie, baby.